Hello, this is Virtua Tennis 3 demo. I downloaded this back in the day, so I'm still able to download it now. I don't think you still can. When I search the PlayStation Store on my PS3 now, all it shows is Virtua Tennis 2009, and that's not even available there. It just says it's disc only. And I think Virtua Tennis 3 was disc only as well. That's according to the GameFAQs release list I just looked at. So all you could really download was this demo, and well, here it is. There's videos of it on YouTube, but they're all like 16 years old, so I thought I would just make one. It's a very short demo. Kind of a stylish intro here. This is made by Hitmaker. Hitmaker made Virtua Tennis 1, 2, 3, and 4. They didn't do 2009. That was a recreation, apparently, according to Wikipedia, by Sumo Digital, a British company. But Hitmaker made 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2009 was apparently a recreation of Virtua Fighter 3. I don't know what the deal with that is, but
Virtua Tennis 3.
Yeah, so this was Hitmaker when they made the original Virtua Tennis back in 1999. They were still called Sega AM3. Okay, let's just go ahead here. So when I first ran this demo for the first time in however many years, I thought that my third-party PS3 pad I thought the D-pad and the analog sticks weren't working or something because I can't move up and down the menu. But what I finally realized is that it's just because the other options, World Tour, Exhibition, all that stuff, aren't available. You can't even go to the options screen. So you just have to hit the X button. I guess it really shouldn't even show the select D-pad thing in the key at the bottom there because you can't move to select nothing else. There's nothing else to pick. Anyway, here we go. You can't pick doubles, so it still feels like the controller's malfunctioning except for the X button. I guess circle probably works here. So you can pick from a whopping 4 players. You've got Federer and Nadal. Those are the two big ones. So I guess if you're going to have two, those are the ones. And then for the women's side, you have Sharapova and Venus Williams. She's the only Williams in this one. No Serena. But I guess they only have half the number of female players that they have male players in here anyway. So I'm going to do Nadal because it says he's a fast runner. I was playing around with original Virtua Tennis today a bit, and I liked playing the faster characters. Nadal. So you've got 3 ways of hitting the ball: a lob, topspin, or slice. I'm not really sure what the difference between topspin and slice is. Topspin seems to be the default, since that's on X and also circle. The original Virtua Tennis only has a single shot button and then a lob button, so it's got 2 buttons, whereas starting with Virtua Tennis 2, it added a 3rd button for slice. Or it differentiated slice and topspin. Hey, it auto-served on me. I timed out.
15 love.
So the animations are smoother and more varied than in Virtua Tennis and Virtua Tennis, or as it's called on at least one of the US home versions, Tennis 2K2, which is a really gross name. Tennis 2K2 had, more animations and smoother animations than the original Virtua Tennis on Dreamcast, and then this has even more and smoother animations. But it does feel a little slower than, like if you play this back-to-back with Virtua Tennis feels a lot poppier. It's just like, it just hauls. Because there's just less animation to waste time on. Stuff just happens, Oh no, I got lobbed. Oh, okay, made it back. I mean, it's a lot. What the effect is really of the difference in animation and the more sophisticated animation as the series goes on is that it's easier to recover from being out of position or from making a mistake in the later games, because it's got animations to have the player, like, you know, suddenly spin around and dive back or something like that. Whereas in Virtua Tennis 1, for instance, you do not have all those recovery animations. So your character will just kind of flail, miss the ball by a mile, and that's all you got. See, like right there, he had that recovery where he reached back over his shoulder, kind of. I guess that's just his forehand, but anyway. It still is definitely easier to recover. That was a nice slam animation, too. It's funny, I was looking at Virtua Fighter 4 because it's all on Steam, and all this time I've been looking at it over, you know, once in a while and thinking, should I get that? But it's not even purchasable on Steam, and I think, well, there's two reasons why it may not be purchasable. One is that, you know, there's probably contracts with these players and license contracts for their, you know, likenesses and stuff, and those expire after a while, so possibly it's expired, the contracts have expired, and they don't have the rights to sell it anymore. But it's still listed there, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's normal for delisted games on Steam, for them to be there without a purchase button. But the other thing that happened, and I think the reason why the reviews are very low for Virtua Tennis 4 on Steam right now, they're in the mixed range of review score on Steam for 4, because at some point, so 4 for Steam and Windows used Microsoft Games for Windows for its online component or something, and eventually Microsoft changed that service to a service with a different name, or I don't know what. And so the original Microsoft games for Windows stopped working. And for Virtua Tennis 4, that meant that the game no longer ran. You couldn't launch the game. It just wouldn't run right. And so people were like, this game doesn't work anymore, and they bombed the reviews. And I think, like, at first at least, Steam wasn't letting them like get their money back or anything. I don't know if that changed, but yeah, but I think a few years back now, some players who had already owned the game, I already went through it, and that's all you get in the demo. Some players figured out how to work around that. There's a thread about it on the Steam forum, and it just involves, like, you can still install Microsoft games for Windows because it's been archived somewhere, and if you run that and you let it update or something, and you jump through some hoops, then Virtua Fighter 4, the Steam version, will actually work. Yeah, but you can't buy it anymore, at least not on Steam. So, bummer. But yeah, I think Virtua Fighter, the original one, well, the Virtua Fighter 1 on Dreamcast is, I think, the one that I'm going to go with for now. Like, I could get this one, you know, I could get an old disc of this one for PS3 or something, but Virtua Fighter, Virtua Tennis, it's, you know, it's kind of more streamlined. Like I was saying, it just feels faster. There's only 2 buttons to worry about instead of 3. I like games with kind of less buttons. That works for my dumb brain. So yeah, I think I'll concentrate on that one. This demo certainly feels good, though. It's very short. I was thinking, man, if they just let you play a game, who needs the full version, right? But they don't even let you play a full game, and it's on a very easy difficulty, so it's really no challenge. So it's not really something you would come back to. Even though they did include, you know, the 2 biggest characters or players in the world from the time, Nadal and Federer. But anyhow, at least the two biggest male players. It still seems funny to me that Serena isn't in it, but I guess that's how it went. I don't know. So that's the demo. Again, you can no longer go download this from the PlayStation Store. I had to dig into my my download history on the PS3 and the the system options or whatever the heck it's called, and this was the I have my download list on PS3 is over 1,400 items, and this was just the 12th. This was the 12th thing that I downloaded to my original PS3 back in the day. And it was an early PS3 game. It came out in 2007, late 2007, which is when the PS3 launched. It wasn't, I don't think it was quite at launch, but it was soon after. Wait, was it 2000? Well, something around there. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so it was early PS3 game. Gorgeous looking game. Plays nice. But it was, and I guess back then it certainly wasn't standard for retail games, like full price games or whatever, to have a PlayStation Store release. So it wouldn't have been unusual that it didn't. That changed later, of course. Later, pretty much every PS3 game that came out, even with the disc release, also got a full download release on the store. But it did have this demo, which just said at the beginning, which I did not capture, it just says, the full version's out now, go buy it, or whatever. They can't have like a, push triangle to go to the store to buy it or something, because it was never in the store, apparently. So yeah, pretty sweet. Again, there it is. And that's still true. Yeah, I think my tendency is to stick with the simpler original Dreamcast. Well, it came out in the arcade first. I keep saying original version. It came out in the arcade first, of course. This game was also an arcade game, I think, before it was on Dreamcast. Is that right? Let me just check. It ran on the Sega Lindbergh arcade system, and Lindbergh was, I better check this too, I think Lindbergh was basically PC hardware, wasn't it? Let's see. I keep typing Virtua Fighter 3. Virtua Tennis 3, Wikipedia says, came out in the arcade April 25th, 2006. Oh yeah, so that was a good deal earlier. It didn't come out on Dreamcast until March. Or on Dreamcast, on PlayStation 3 until March of 2007. So nearly a year before it came out on the home system. Of course, the PS3 wasn't even out in 2006, right?
Virtua Tennis 3.
The PS3 launched in November 2006. So yeah, this came out in the arcade in April 2006. So it was a good deal before the PS3 launched. And then the PS3 version came out in March 2007. So what is that? 5 months after the PS3 launch. Pretty darn good looking game. Did I mention it runs in 1080p on the PS3? That was rare even towards the end of the PS3's life. Most PS3 games were only 720. Hey, we get to see some of the other players. And you play against, you don't, it's not always just Federer versus Nadal. You get to play against the other professional characters in the game. That was kind of a goofy run back. So they have mixed matches. This is a woman versus a man. That's cool. I actually haven't played as one of the female characters here. Why don't I do that? I mean, I guess I could just play through as all of them. Although, At some point, let's play Venus. Powerful strokes. I guess I haven't even tried the slice or the lob, really. Maybe I can figure out what the slice does. Maybe Venus will show me what a slice does.
Williams to serve.
I mean, I played tennis as a youth, and I never knew what a slice was. Can I slice a serve? I don't know if that did anything. So it's kind of a medium power hit, and you're kind of angling the racket under the ball. Is that going to give it backspin? That might differentiate it from the topspin of the regular shot, which is just called topspin. Well, there's an angle. What the heck is this replay? Oh dear. That doesn't really look like Venus, even when she was younger, as far as I remember. Vidasova, I don't remember her. Oh, see, that was a ridiculous recovery. You would not have been able to recover from being that far off in the Dreamcast Virtua Tennis 1. That ball would have sailed right past you and you would have just looked silly. That does not look like Venus at all. Another ridiculous recovery. I should try slicing some of these from the... Oh, but slice doesn't put much power on it. Not sure what's the purpose of a slice then in this game. Like, that was a slice, it went nowhere. I don't like that big logo. Is that like a Corona beer logo? It comes across in the replay. What the heck is that? They did animate the line judges dodging out of the way of the ball. Now I noticed. I think it was the first one that I was playing Virtua Tennis on Dreamcast, and you can just nail the line judges with the ball. They don't flinch. Nothing can get them out of their line of sight on that line. Not even the ball coming up and hitting them in the face. She's not gonna oh, there she goes. What is that logo, man? It's just bizarre. Actually, that looks a little more like Venus from that particular angle. Oh, we had to have an animation of the player wiping sweat off their face. I gotta say, these, you know, like, do you really need that logo flying over every time for, like, a replay you're probably just gonna skip? I mean, you have to watch this after every single point. What the heck was that? Oh my gosh, I did not recover from that. I guess I was too close to it. Creeping in too much. What's this music, man? This music's kind of bad. Maybe I should try a lob at some point, but she stays back. This is like, you know, low-level first match AI, so it's not like they're in a position for me to lob them. I'm gonna lob anyway. See if I can win with just lobs. Not looking likely. Oh no! I thought she was gonna cut that back across the court. Maybe now the smarter AIs later, at least like in Virtua Tennis 1, they will see where you're going and anticipate and dog you, but I don't think that match 1 AI would do that so much. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work too great. You're not supposed to lob someone who's sitting back anyway. That's not what a lob is for. Ooh, I was almost too close to that also. Venus is pleased. Give me that money. D. What? D for dang it. And then you can't click out of this. You just gotta sit here and wait for a bit, I guess. At first I thought it wasn't gonna ever get out of this and you just had to quit the demo and like don't install, but I guess it eventually passes to buy this. How long did it take the first time? Maybe this was a bad plan. Well, there we go. That's not so bad. Nice menu sounds. Let's do Federer, I guess. Or wait, did I? Yeah, okay, Federer. All around, precise shots make him the best. Well, gee. I mean, just tell me who to play, game. I mean, he probably was the #1 ranked male player at that point.
Federer to serve.
That was a heck of a smash, just right at him. This game was called Power Smash. She couldn't figure out which way to hit that. Power Smash 3, I guess, in Japan. Oh. Wikipedia says Sega Professional Tennis, Power Smash 3. Power Smash. Ooh. What was that, Nadal? You're just setting yourself up. You won't win with that technique. Why couldn't they put some Virtua Fighter characters in this? And they could have put Federer in Virtua Fighter. You know, just you gotta cross your franchises, man. That's how you get the sales. That's how you get people knowing what's going on. Give him a little Nadal and Virtua Fighter. Have him just smashing a serve right into Jackie's punk face or something. Oh, I mean, Nadal's, you know, he's pretty ripped guy. Probably hold his own. Oh no! Oh, the flop animation. In Virtua Fighter 1, a lot of the times when you fall, it's bad. Your character just kind of curl up a bit. You're kind of in this little curled up position. It takes them forever to stand back up. You're pretty much hosed. Oh, what is this? That's supposed to be a topspin. What? Come on, Federer, shape up. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm gonna lose the demo. I gotta stop goofing off. Nadal's too good. He was always the guy who could give Federer some problems. Not on grass, though, right? Nadal was more of a clay court guy, wasn't he? Oh, look at that graceful power. Rush the net. Bam! Oh, I didn't get it down. I'm in trouble. Come on, you didn't lob. You didn't smash that. Maybe there's probably a way to smash that, to tell it to smash it. Like maybe if I hit the lob button from there. I don't know. Like I had Virtua Tennis, or well, Tennis 2K2 on Dreamcast. Because I got my Dreamcast a ways after launch, and it was probably after Virtua Tennis was already out, and I knew about Virtua Tennis, and I thought it was neat, as far as I remember, but I didn't buy it for some reason. But then, I guess there were maybe other games I wanted more at the time. But then, eventually, oh no! Tennis 2K2 came out, and so that was a new release, and staying on top of new releases, I guess, and I picked that up, but I thought it was cool. I said so in the notes I took at the time, but I didn't end up playing it much, and I think maybe I have this vague impression that I was kind of disappointed with it, in that it seemed a little more complicated than what I had seen of Virtua Tennis 1. And I didn't like I didn't like how I thought some of the courts weren't. I didn't like color schemes or something in them quite as much as the courts in the first game, and I didn't like the replays quite as much. I felt they were a little more intrusive. It's definitely the camera zooms in more in Virtua Tennis than it does in 2, and certainly in this. Like in Virtua Tennis, when you rush the net, the camera actually zooms in a little, so it no longer has like the back end of your side of the court on screen. But it doesn't do that in Virtua Tennis 2, and I don't think it's doing that here. So Sharapova.
Sharapova.
Sharapova, she was like pretty high ranked for earlier in her pro career, right? But then she kind of like fell off a bit, as far as I recall. I mean, she got into like modeling and doing commercials or something. I mean, Sharapova versus Venus in later years would have just been a complete blowout. In Venus's favor, I mean. Can't spend all that time on the catwalk if you want to play with the big dogs. Oh, come on, what's that? Oh, God. Well, and I also remember feeling this nagging notion when I was playing this and, playing the female characters. Is like, wait, am I just getting like a slower game here because they don't, they didn't give these female players the same speed and power as the male characters? But I'm not actually, I don't know about that. Sharapova does feel a little slow. Ah! Oh wow, Venus, get it out. But I mean, wow, I nailed her. I wonder what they call that in tennis. Whap. What's with this replay, man? We got a shot of that guy at the net line doing something strange. Look at those line judges. That one trying to look around Venus, it's hilarious. I guess that's a ball boy there who was bombing that last replay. Rush the net. Oh no. Don't lob me, don't. Ooh. You're, oh, come on. I think I was just late hitting the button there. It's embarrassing. What was that sound that Sharapova made? She sounded like a Smurf or something. Or no, she sounded like a Mario character. Yahoo! I'm sorry, I said that, Smurfs. I didn't mean that. You don't sound like Mario characters. I was confused. Oh. When is Disney gonna buy Smurfs anyway? They bought pretty much everything else. Uh-oh. Gosh, she should have put that away, Sharapova. Well, maybe they did get these relative stats right here. Sharapova's struggling against Venus. Come on, Sharapova, put some muzzle into it. Oh, that was, my positioning was wrong. Oh, I got lucky. Venus slipped. Sharapova's like, yes, I got her. She slipped. I'm the best. you know, you gotta wear good shoes. Maybe Venus just didn't have the right shoe sponsor for clay. That was pretty good forehand. Stop making the Mario sound, Sharapova. Oh, I didn't think she was gonna get that. Sheesh. Come on, put her away. Thank goodness she didn't get that one. She almost did. Look at all those detailed hairs. Oh wait, that's only... We still have to play more? It's turned into a long demo. Well, I guess it's still the same set, right? Man, Sharapova making Mario sounds is weirding me out. I could just be playing Mario Power Smash or whatever. Except I don't have a Nintendo system. I suppose there's probably an N64 Mario Tennis game I could get a cartridge of and dump. I don't think I'm gonna do that. There you go. Finally got her in the right position to whack one cross court. Oh, French Cup. That weird logo is for this made-up French Cup. You can see it on the wall and back. FC Paris as the logo. Got her again. Now I'm rolling. She's a little late for that lunge. That was a pretty realistic looking shot. I remember when I first saw Virtua Tennis and like the replays and stuff, I was like, man, this looks like TV. I mean, this looks like a real match on TV. And of course, when you're looking at a low res, you know, analog television, it's a lot tougher to distinguish, you know, fine detail. It's easier to get fooled. Also, I don't know. I was going to say I was a kid, but I wasn't that young in 1999. 2000, whenever the Dreamcast version came out. I still got Wikipedia up. I could take a look. Oh yeah, the Virtua Tennis came out in 2000. Hey, that's my year on in the arcade. This page isn't telling me. So that was actually only. Wait a second, that's not right. What am I guess it was. Wait a second, no, I'm totally confused. What the heck? What? Okay, this thing says 1999 up here. December 1999. Power Smashu, it says. For the first Virtua Tennis. It doesn't say here when the Dreamcast version came out. That's a little inconvenient. Well, I just was looking at that, right? No, I don't know. It says it was ported to the Dreamcast in 2000. Okay. Anywho, so I guess I played all. I think I got all 4 characters there. Anyway, yeah, pretty fun. I mean, if it was still, you know, purchasable through the PlayStation Store, I'd buy it. But it is not. Heck, I would have bought that, Sega, what was it, Superstars Tennis or whatever, on PS3. But that was disc only also. That was made by Sumo Digital, who did a lot of stuff for Sega back then, and I'm not sure how good their actual original games were, but they did a really good port of Outrun 2, of course. okay, I guess that's about all I can milk out of this demo. So, yeah, I think the lesson is for me that I'm just gonna go rip the disc of Virtua Tennis that I got off eBay and fire that baby up in Flycast and have a good time. Because I can't get this. Well, I don't want to get a disc game and have to run that in my poor old PS3. I don't want it breaking down. It's just I only gonna play downloadable games on my PS3. But maybe that's just an excuse. I don't know. But whatever, it's the excuse I'm going with. Thanks for watching, and I will have some Virtua Tennis videos from the Dreamcast game at some point. I do have a lot of other games I have recently acquired for some silly reason too, so it might be a little while. I have all these Sonic games to play through for one thing, and a bunch of racing games now as well. A bunch of Sega racing games. Eventually I'll have some Virtua Tennis 1 on Dreamcast videos. Eventually. That's it for now though. See you later.